Hey folks, Dr. Gerstmar from Aspire Natural Health. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today I want to share with you a little mental exercise you can do that I think you'll find profoundly helpful. You ready for it? Okay, the idea here is to imagine an older, wiser version of yourself to talk to and seek advice for on what's going on in your life. So, like many of us, I'm in my 40s now, and I remember being in my 20s. I was a bit of an insufferable person back then, someone who, right, thought they knew it all and was bound and determined to do it my way, not necessarily listen to what older and wiser people had to say. Now in my 40s, 20 years later, I look back at my 20-year-old self and, just kind of shake my head, right? We want to have compassion for ourselves. We're all doing the best we can in those situations, but obviously I feel quite a bit wiser now in my 40s than I did in my 20s. I can only imagine that in my 60s, I will look back on me in my 40s with a similar degree of, understanding and greater wisdom. So I don't know about you, that's been my experience. I think that's one most of us share. So we can use that mental trick to help inform us now, right? The problem we've talked about before is blind spots, being too close to a situation now to have much, ability to look at it dispassionately and see what the best course of action is. Well, the good part of having these big, wonderful, beautiful brains is that we can step out of our current situation. And one way to do that is to think of ourselves as an older and wiser person. So most of us hopefully have a lot of years left in our life. We can imagine ourselves 10 or 20 years down the road, and we can, in our minds, sit down and have a conversation with that person. So think about your life. What's going on right now? Whether it's in health, whether it's in family, whether it's in business, whatever might be going on. Imagine, take a little time. I invite you, get a piece of paper or a computer document in front of you. Set aside at least 10, 20, 30, up to 60 minutes. Set it aside, some private time. Sit down with your piece of paper or your document. And imagine you're sitting down in front of a you that's 5, 10, 20, 30 years older than you are now. Obviously, this older you views you with love and compassion and merely wants the best for you, would like to be able to look back in the same way you would look back on a younger you, want to help you avoid some of those painful mistakes and situations you made from a place of wisdom. So imagine that situation is happening now. What would that older, wiser self have to tell you about your life? Are you taking care of your health? Are you doing the things that need to be done? How about in business? How about in family life? How about in relationships? Whatever aspect of whatever is going on, bring it to that older and wiser self. And then, the question is, are you doing the things that you should be doing, or do you need to make a change? Right? Great question. Write it down on a piece of paper, whatever thoughts and feelings come to mind. And then afterwards, thank that older, wiser you. Tell them you'll be back later for another conversation. And then look at what you've written. So most of us see that there are some changes that we need to make. Now it's transforming that message into actionable steps. So what do you need to do next to put those with that wisdom into action for yourself? So a very simple but very profound little exercise we can do that only takes between, let's call it 20 and 60 minutes of your time, a piece of paper, and an imagination. Now, it may sound a little weird, but we've shown that this is an incredibly helpful tool. It lets you get perspective on your life and on your situation and allows you to make the important changes you need to without having to wait 5, 10, 20, 30 years down the road. All right, folks. So if you're not sure what to do, if you don't have any perspective on your life, why don't you start by asking the older, wiser version of yourself? All right, folks, that is it for me today. Listen, if you are ready to make positive change in your life. And obviously, if you're contemplating sitting down with your older, wiser self, then you are. Then let's have a chat. If you're dealing with digestive issues, autoimmunity, and you're looking to live a bigger, better life, if you're friendly and coachable and you're ready for change and transformation, then it begins by just having a conversation. Listen, we'll find a time, we'll sit down and talk to one another. We'll hear about what's going on, what your goals are, and more about you. If we're the right match, if we are the people to help you, we'll talk about next steps and we'll get things going to help you transform your life. And if we're not the right fit, that's okay. We will do our best to refer you to someone who is the right fit. You have nothing to lose. You have everything to gain. You'll leave our call feeling calm, confident, happy, because you'll know what the next best step is for you. All right, folks, give us a call, send us an email or a message. We'll find a time to chat. We'll talk about what's going on, and we'll talk about what the next best steps are for you. Once again, give us a call, send us an email, or drop us a message. We'll make time to have a conversation. All right, folks, that is it for me. Until next time, take care.